fight tonight.
What's going on, everybody? JDUB here. In today's video, we'll be doing a guide on the new dungeon, FrostVault. I will do a hard mode guide, and at the end of the video, I'll provide you with a non-hard mode um, positioning guide type of thing, kind of like I do with every new trial. But I'm gonna start doing this with a new dungeon, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start slowing some of these down so you guys can see the mechanics. Now this orc is going to do a heavy attack, and it's extremely delayed, so I slowed it down a little bit so you guys can see it in a slow motion manner. Basically just pulling those ads and just kind of cleave them down. Now um, the archers here, what they'll do, which I couldn't get it recorded. Well, let's talk about the mage. So mage does an AOE, a growing AOE over one player, and like he did where it slowed down, it's a growing AOE, and I'll slow it down later on the video. But what it does is it just basically sends like an ice boulder down on you, and if you don't block it, it'll knock you down on your butt, and that's about it. Now, what the archers do, they'll charge up like they're taking aim at you, but it's not actually taking aim. It's the ultimate. It's the ballista. So you can either block that or you can bash it. So now we're on the first boss, and this is Ice Stalker, which is a pretty unique and pretty fun boss. He's gonna immediately charge in and jump on you, knock you down, and then he's gonna start throwing a rock at one individual person, as you can see in the AoE in the back. And then what he's going to do is he's going to start ground pounding like the Troll Boss in Veteran Sanctum on my other video. And then he's going to turn to one person and then knock them in the air like that. And when they do, what you need to do as a tank or a healer DPS is bash the boss immediately after. If you don't, the damage will increase and you'll die. Other than that, that's pretty much it, what this boss does. If you have a little bit lower DPS, he will make a big growing AoE underneath him, where he just keeps, I believe it's pounding, and you'll take damage, so just kind of run out of the AoE as quickly as possible. Other than that, that's pretty much it. There's some ads that come by and that knock you down and stuff like that, so just avoid them. There's not much you can do with the flying ones. As far as challenging them or anything like that. Other than those, that's pretty much it. Now, the rest of the ads that you're going to see are all mechanics that you will see throughout the entire some boss fights and some of the last boss. You do have a Frost Atro here. He's the same. He does the same stuff that he's done in other dungeons. He pounds his right foot and he makes ice pillars come out. Then he does a cleave attack, which will knock you back if you're not blocking. So just avoid that. And I slowed those down just so you guys can see that as well. And we're gonna speed this up a little bit. We're gonna be speeding these up on most of the ad pulls if they're not too detrimental to the I guess like danger to you guys, so it's not too much. So we slowed this one down. This is the second boss. He's gonna come in and immediately try and uppercut you, and then he's doing a spin attack, and that will kind of knock you off balance a little bit, so watch out for that. Then he's gonna throw a tether. It's like a little throwing knife or something like that, and he's gonna tether two people. All you have to do is just get that one person away from you, and that's it. Just run to the opposite ends, and good to go. And now he's going to do the next attack that he's going to do is he's going to like jump up in the air. You know, like the first boss in Maul where he has a damage shield on him and he does damage to you. It's the same thing here, except it does a little bit of fire damage. Just stands there with his sword up. He has a damage shield. You just got to DPS through it. That's about it. Shortly after that, he's going to do his heavy attack and then try and tether somebody. So just watch out for that and be aware immediately as that comes out. Shortly after, he's going to go invulnerable again, and then he's going to do his ice stage where he starts about 35%. Basically, what that does is he makes these little ice whirlwinds that go around the map, and then he's going to target one person. As you can see, I slowed it down, and you can see on the far right, he has a little AoE underneath him. That's how you know who it is. Basically, just go on the outside of the arena and just, continue to go clockwise or counterclockwise the way that everything is moving. Everyone else, you just kind of range them down, and then shortly after that, he's going to charge to to a person and try and do a charge lightning attack like that, where it has like little sparkles coming out, and then you just DPS them. If you have slower DPS, he's just going to continue to do that whirlwind effect right here, and he's just going to keep doing that over and over again. So just be aware of that. Other than that, that's pretty much it on that boss fight. He does spawn, 2 additional ads periodically, so just pull him in as a tank, and you should be good. Right now, we're just kind of RPing a little bit because, that's just what we do. But no, you got to follow this skeever that leads you the way, and all that. So here we got the orc again, and other ads that we have seen previously throughout the dungeon, and it's pretty much the same. Just dodge roll the heavy attack if you can, or you could just hold block. Now here's the laser parts right here. As you can see right here, I slowed it down a little bit. If the laser is hit by a rock or some kind of projectile that can block it, it will not kill you or do damage to you. This boss is the third boss. He's basically just a great centurion. He's a really fun boss mechanic, really fun. Basically, what he's going to do is going to slow it down. He's going to do this steam attack, which all centurions basically do. And yeah, you could easily avoid it. He's gonna go into this little shield phase periodically, and do you see those lasers? How one is hitting the wall and the other side is projecting, as you can see on the side to the left. How you can see that that's actually shooting it. You want to be on the opposite side of that because obviously from one point to from point A to point B, which point A would be um, the opposite side that we're on, and then point B being the impact of the wall. You want to be on the side that is actually getting impacted by the wall, not where from the laser is at. He's also going to do an AoE like this. It does do decent amount of damage to DPS. He does it 5 times, so just avoid it. There's also those little balls, the spheres that walk around or that roll around. If you do hit one, it will explode. You can target it on the spheres if you hit a one of those rolling spheres on top of the spheres that are out. You can kill them instantly. Also, keep in mind that you cannot chain any of the ads in here, so that's just kind of, whatever. What I would suggest is once he's in this phase where you cannot DPS him, I would make sure that your DPS go ahead and range down those ads. If you're a werewolf, you're just kind of SOLs, like Fang Rush is here. So I went ahead and slowed down this last part because this happens a lot. If you have lower DPS or you're constantly having to try and pick somebody up or revive or something like that, this effect will happen a lot. So keep that in mind. These spheres also throw a ground AoE across the ground, and it will do quite a bit of damage to DPS. So keep an eye out for that as well. And that's about it with this fight. I mean, there's not much else. He does do a heavy attack, but you can easily dodge roll. It pulls his right hand back, and then you just dodge it. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna speed these up just a little bit. Some more RP going on as far as like it's just kind of a joke we have in stream. How we have to walk around and listen to the story, which I don't mind, but it's whatever. So we finished the right room, and then now we're going into the left room, and just trying to hurry up because Fang has on werewolf, so it's on a cooldown. Now this Centurion is just like the Centurion boss you just faced, except he does not go into a invulnerable stage, so keep that in mind. And as far as the spheres go, they will do a charge up attack, which you'll see later on in hard mode, and well, I'll slow it down for you here in the future, about right here. Here we go. So I have all those together, and he is going to target me. And what that does is if the circle fully grows on top of me or somebody else, if that ball, that projectile that shoots from that sphere, um, is a hit on one of the teammates of yours or yourself, what it'll do is it'll knock you back uh, pretty far. I think it's about 8 or 10 meters. It'll knock you back pretty far. And it is a quick way you can just dodge it or you can bash. On the PTS, they never had this growing AoE where the from the spheres, which I'm kind of glad they implemented it because it was really kind of a pain in the ass to see it on the PTS. Um, and again, you just have all these ads just come through. The astronaut, which you'll see in the future boss here in a few seconds. Basically, there's a bunch of ad pools. Just pull them all together. As far as positioning on most of these bosses, just keep them in the center and as best you can. I do have a better fight of this one with me doing it, but I decided to show you guys that, what happens and stuff like that, because I could have showed you like me beating it perfectly and being fine, but there's no point. You don't learn from that. So immediately when you pull the Atro is going to immediately do an AoE if you are right next to him. And see this attack here? If you do not get into the clear of that AoE, it will basically one-shot you. Now, there's two ways to do this. You can get into, as the AoE grew, right? You've seen there was an opening where there was no damage, right? Well, you can get in that little area or you can be out of that AoE. It is very difficult to be out of the AoE at the same time as him doing it because if you're in the circle, as soon as the Atro starts doing it, you will get one-shotted. Now I did slow it down those 2 times right there, and if you go back, you'll see. But the main boss does a growing AoE on. There's a mechanic again. I was like literally almost outside of it. But anyways, as you could see back then, there was 2 growing AoEs on everyone that was alive, and if you have that line close to another person, it will one-shot one of you guys. So just keep that in mind. The other one is the boss will raise her staff up in the air or crouch down, and when that happens, just bash her. It's pretty easy. Healers, if you have a healer, just pop down, just put on crushing shock, and that's about it. There also will be a point where someone will get targeted, and they'll have that AOE underneath them, and all it is just a little ice ball that comes towards you and snares you in place. Uh, and then for this part, this is where we're starting the last boss. Just a bunch of ads you got to kill, and this is kind of like the introduction to this Skeeverton. We'll be going over that, of course, and I'll show you the differences in the DPS tank and healer as well. Let me get a drink of water right quick. Excuse me. So as soon as you come in, you're gonna have the first one, right? So the one far left, if you look at my skills, that one, if you press that repeatedly, that will charge up your ultimate. As you can see, absorb energy from nearby magic condensers to charge up your ultimate. Now what your ultimate does, and we'll go over that in a second. This one, the second one, which will revive anyone within a 10-meter radius, all the way back to full health. It is very useful if somebody goes down. Has a 1-minute cooldown though, so keep that in mind. Alternate your revives per person. Each one has 1 cooldown. The third one is going to be a speed boost, and then the fourth one is a heal, and the RB one, which is the last one, which will be a little shock damage attack. It just basically just kind of does like a little bit of low impact damage. The ultimate, what it does is basically there's a I call them generators at the end of these little flashing lights. So basically, what you want to do is you want to follow these lights and get to the generator. And what that generator does is basically just kind of like I guess you would say empower the boss, so to speak. So you go down there and you build up your ultimate, and then you go to one of the generators, discharge your ultimate, and what it will do is it'll shut down that generator, so that you will be good to exit this room and go back to fighting the boss. You only have to do this once on vet and on non-hard and on hard mode. So as long as you get through with it once, you should be good to go. Now, right now, we're just kind of fabbing around because one of our group members has never done this before. So we're kind of teaching them and showing them how to do that, and that's what Fingers and them are doing. So we come back out and we're going to start the fight. Now, we did do this on stream for probably about 2.5, maybe 3 hours with no healer. And I had to change up my build a lot, so you'll see my skills swap here in a second. The sets I'm running I'll do a build video after this. As you can see, we're going to come right into it. And immediately after, about a few seconds after, he's going to do Steam, which is a huge debuff on your person. And all you got to do is just basically try and heal through it. It's a huge debuff on you. So just try and heal through it. Any damage you take is just, it feels like it's amplified quite a bit. Now what I did is I changed up my build so I'm able to pop a Resto ulti every time we get Steam. And as you can see, I'm heavy attacking quite a bit and all that stuff. Now as soon as you knock off one of the arms, we do the blade arm first, a Centurion will spawn. This is both vet and non-hard mode. And all you're going to do is just dodge roll his main heavy attack from the Centurion, and then position him on that right side, so that way the DPS can continue to DPS that arm. Now, as you can see, I do pop Resto ulti as soon as this Steam comes out, so that way I'm able to self-sustain that. As you can see, he's going to shoot a constant beam at you. Now, this is to anybody who he's targeted on. So as long as he's on you, the tank, you should be fine. The left arm is a blade, basically the same thing as the V Hoff one. He pulls it out and he just starts, whacking the crap out of you. His right arm, which is the flame arm, as I'm looking at him, as we're looking at him, is the flame arm, and he does that every so often where he'll shoot fire at you. Now, once you knock out both arms and kill the Centurions, a few seconds later, on hard mode, he's gonna start breathing fire out of his arm sockets, and then these ads are gonna spawn, these spheres. Now, basically, what they do, they're the same thing as what they did on the previous rounds in the ad pools, and all they do is they constantly hit you and then target you randomly, and then if they do hit you, you get knocked off the arena or knocked back a few meters. So just pull them in as quickly as possible and have the DPS either ulti them or something, because you will be taking a lot of damage, quite a bit. Now, we were in a bug instance, I guess, because Earthcore does proc. I was saying it on stream earlier that Earthcore does not proc here for some reason. I guess we were just in a bugged instance because we can never get it. Now, I froze this. As you can see on the left side, it's double red. To the bottom right is green. And to the top right is blue. And basically what they do is blue is it's going pretty fast. You might want to pause those to kind of read them. But basically what blue is the healer, green is the tank, and the red is the DPS. Now, you might want to pause that video back to see which ones do which. I can actually maybe extend it a little bit. I'll put actually, you know what, at the end of the video, I'll make it a little bit longer so you guys can see what they all do. But I'll kind of go over what they basically do. So the damage dealer will have a frost mine, which will be number 3. And basically what it does is it freezes enemies in place, it lays a trap down, and if the enemy runs over it, it'll freeze. Now on veteran and hard mode, you will have these traps that are up, which I just got killed by the fire. They'll be up periodically through here. As I activate the shield ulti right here, which is number 4 on the tank one. Now you will get ads throughout hard mode. On non-hard mode, you will not. All right, so back to the damage dealer. The next one, which is the 4th one, deals a massive amount of damage, and it basically one-shots these ads if they're frozen. So if you hit them with that trap, and then hit them with the, if you hit them with 3, which is the trap, and then you hit them with 4, which is a fireball, it'll basically one-shot them. Now the very last one that I hit right there, the 5th one, which I was unable to show in my previous one, it basically is just a small little low impact damage that does, so you can kind of help out that way if you can't do anything else. Now the healer is the same one that you got when you first got the Skeever. Every skill is the same except for the last one. You didn't have a last skill. Basically the last skill, all it does is just do some small amount of damage. Now, here's what we decided to do when we did this. We stuck together the entire time, and we swapped our speed boost. So, our healer or myself, we would be like, "Hey, you're speed boost 1, I'm speed boost 2, whatever. All right, I'm gonna pop mine. 3, 2, 1, it's out. All right, I'm gonna pop mine. 3, 2, 1, it's out." And then we would talk about who's going to pop their ulti on which one on which of the generators. Now, what the tank does, of course, you see that. So 3 is speed boost, 2 and 4 is the shield. I usually laid the shield whenever we came in with more than one ad. And that's pretty much it as far as like what's going on in here. What we do is we do wait every time the fire was there, and we would wait there as a group, and then everybody would get the speed boost. As soon as you get done, taunt the boss immediately because he's going to turn to whoever. Now, as soon as you come out, you're going to get the steam. And then there's going to be a blade that spawns shortly after. It's going to start on the outside. From every time we did it, it was always on the outside. And then after it goes all the way around one time, then a spinner would spawn on the inside. Keep in mind that those spinners will proc a bleed on you, and it does hurt. It lasts, I think it's roughly, let's see, it's about to run over me. It actually didn't hit me. That's weird. Okay, well, it's supposed to last, I believe, about 8 to 10 seconds. I can't remember exactly how long it's supposed to last, but that's how long the bleed usually lasts as far as the spinners go. And basically what we would do is we would call out, as soon as you see the spinner, we would say, "Hey, spinner's outside, move in." Excuse me, and that's how we would do that. And again, you would get steam, and you'll get an ad that spawns as well. If you can kill that spider that's on the tank in hard mode, it would help out tremendously, because for some reason my earth core was not proccing the entire time. So I had to swap helmets and put on blood spawn to kind of help with ulti regen. So as that centurion's out, we just kept him on that left side to play it safe. And then they just went around the backside, and I moved the boss a little bit so that way that they could reach the arm quicker, and we could be done with this a lot quicker than me just standing in one spot. Now basically they're just going to sit there and constantly hit the arm and make sure it falls off. Now you as a tank, your main objective here is to stay alive and call out when steam's coming. Steam comes pretty periodically, every few seconds, so about every 10 seconds or so. You can just kind of call that out. We can actually kind of look at it here. So it stopped at 28 seconds on my screen. But anyways, yeah. So just basically stay alive, constantly keep hitting that igneous shields, and you should be good. So it looks like it's, yeah, roughly every like 10 to 15 seconds or so. But anyways, if somebody goes down, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you, as a tank, you're trying to take at least a little bit of aggro and trying to get the heals going out for yourself. And if you have Vigor on, try and use it for your DPS, because they're gonna have a hard time staying alive. Starting roughly about 35-30%, you're gonna start getting missiles come down. And basically what they do is they just, the missiles right here, as you can see on the right side, just do a little bit of damage. Starting at 25%, you're going to start getting a cone, and there's going to be multiple cones that shoot out from the boss. And what they do is they will knock you back. If you get hit by them, you'll get knocked back quite far. I think it's about 10 meters or so. So just try to avoid those. And when you're doing this on hard mode execute, you definitely just want to try and keep your heals going and everything like that. It was a pretty tough fight. Of course, we did this without a healer, so very very difficult for the DPS to stay alive. And myself and Fang Rush with this damn werewolf build. So, so I'm just gonna try and let this play out a little bit for the rest of the fight, and I will show the video on the non-hard mode, and I also will do a video on, or I will put at the end of the video the screenshots of what all the Skeevertons have on their stuff, so you can see which one is which, and I'll put a screenshot of which one is which, and I'll say, this one's the DPS, this one's the healer, this one's the tank. So hopefully that'll help you guys out trying to complete this. Other than that, thank you guys again for watching the video. Again, I'm going to let this play out. This was hard mode, and we will be doing, and shortly after this, non-hard mode will be played shortly after this. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.